worst part about being Venus Williams, I'm really tall, so you can't get all the genes. Your foot is large as well if you're Venus Williams. You cannot get all the shoes. I was joking that I wish I would have really just done 1,000 abs a day so I could compete with the athletes that are just ripped. But I'm probably never gonna be ripped. I'm powerful on the court, so that's all that matters.
Yay, set a match. Venus Williams with a stunning announcement today that she's been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Sjogren's syndrome.
Sjogren's syndrome is an autoimmune disease, which means your immune system attacks your body. It can involve anything from fatigue, which was a big problem for me, something that I'm ongoingly working on, joint pain. In extreme cases, it can even have organ, involvement, or even up to lymphoma. Right before I was diagnosed, I just felt so tired. It was just hard to sit in a chair. It was just a major workout sitting in a chair. And I just kept asking everyone around me, I was like, are you guys tired? Are you guys tired? Oh, I was like, I'm so tired. And then it starts to be denial, like, oh my God, now come, really? Especially as an athlete, you're like, this is not real. No way I have this. And it took me about a year to get through that. You don't just accept that something's wrong and will never be right.
As an athlete, you're conditioned to push through fatigue, pain. What's the worst you felt?
The worst is like when you're just laying in bed and you can't get up. An hour later, you still haven't gone up to do something simple like go to the bathroom. Or sometimes, you'll get up and you're standing like a hunchback. You're like, you can't move. But I always laugh through it, like some days I'd try to go out on the court and I'd last about 5 minutes. So then I'd come home and I'd sing karaoke, and then I was too out of breath to sing, so I'd be like, and I love, They're like, oh, and it was just a shame. It's like, what's happened here? I realized I can still perform, but all the stuff that I used to do and train and just be superhuman, there's no need for that. I can still win and compete and be amazing without having to drill myself into the ground, which I used to love to do, but maybe I can do it one day, but definitely not two.
How have you adjusted your game in competition?
So I've had to think about the glass, half full instead of half empty, and stop worrying about what I can't do. And it's taken me a long time. There's no manual. No one says, all right, now this is what you should do. This is where you should go. I've had to go through a lot. I've had to withdraw from a lot of tournaments. I've had to take really tough losses for a long time when I felt I was better. And it can be humiliating because you're better and you can't do better. It's not easy being judged because you'll start thinking what they're saying. You'll start thinking, maybe backhand is terrible. It's like your backhand's not terrible at all. So, or whatever it is they've said, oh, maybe I am a mean, X, Y, Z. So it's important for me. I just separate myself from it. If I'm watching tennis, I literally watch it on mute. I'm thankful for having spiritual guidance because I think just having strong spiritual beliefs helps you to be grounded. You're not worried about being the greatest ever. You're not worried about winning every match. You're not worried about what maybe everyone thinks of you.
You're not worried about being the greatest ever?
I'm not going to be. Someone's going to be greater. Someone already has been greater. I don't know if you've seen Serena Williams, but she's pretty good. So I'm so glad we get to play doubles together. She's been a motivating factor in my life from the very beginning. I've studied closely how I could be like her and how I could be better. I think that's every player on the tour.
What's your greatest fear with this illness?
My mom always said fear is the devil, but there would be a few minutes where I would like, oh my God, what if this never goes away? Because you realize that you can't control how you feel. So I would have a few minutes where I would be afraid, but then I had to get out of that and have the time, because at the same time you're afraid, you can spend trying to do something about it. So that's what I did. For me, it's about being out there and proving something to myself. I got to know that nothing was defeated, and I held my head up high no matter what situation I was in, win, lose, or draw.